Alright, now we'll do this for real. Alright, after the overwhelming success of our last video, all you guys going crazy over it.
Right, we've decided to film yet another.
Yeah, this is the other game we filmed that day. And then we're doing the audio for it now. This was actually Lemon Merchant as Sam Farthen versus Matt Man, feeling bad that he didn't win that last one with Ret, so playing Ret again. He wanted to give that deck a win. All right, and we're heading right in the middle of this game. Oh my gosh, here we go, Lemon Merchant going crazy with that woeful brother.
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't be here commentating with us today.
No, we'll try to do him justice. But yeah, so Woeful's making their standard amazing play. I really like Sam's openings. Sam just has a bunch of like cool opening moves you can do, and I always feel very satisfied.
Yeah, there's a lot of stress associated with him in the beginning game, especially.
Yeah, it's true, and his magic curve is very steep generally, so it's nice to make as much use out of those opening units as you can. All right, Matt Man making some good moves here.
Skellies.
Some hits.
Skellies are doing well on Sam's protected units.
All right, we'll see where this game goes. Sam is a bit of a aggressive summoner, generally speaking. I'm sure you could play him as a turtley summoner, but at least against Ret's turtling takes kind of priority over Sam's. So I think Lemon Merchant's going to be playing up pretty aggressively with Sam. We can kind of see some event maybe in Lemon's hand.
In fact, he was aware of the previous deck I used, which is the same, but I'm pretty sure I made some joke about how it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Really it is.
Yeah, no, I think it's exactly. I think it's card for card the same, and I think you picked up some cards and said, oh, you know. I think you made some bad joke about it. But it's actually, it still has the Hellfire Drake, still has Hellcar, still has Karthos. It's all those fun units. Oh, interesting play. Nope, he's thinking. He does not know what to do. I think I'm off to the side placing wounds on things and just generally trying to find some way to. I think I was like attempting to commentate on a few of these things too, because this was at the time. Yeah, that was a good move. I think that was this was the time when we were trying to commentate over while we played, and so I think I was trying to provide that service. Unfortunately, that just didn't work well for us. Oh, there we go.
Magic lock
on this.
Oh, let's get locked again, boys.
Yep. That's nice opening position with Sam.
Lock him up.
Got Sam protected still. Got his units, the important units there protected. That's nice. It's nice. He's dropping some in the magic. Also, it's worth noting that the thing about it being a rousing success was a joke. We're recording this almost immediately after the other video. I have no idea if anyone's going to watch this. I hope so. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, this is all up in the air at this point. How you guys react. So also, yeah, if if this is the first video you're watching, we're trying to commentate on reasonably high level games that we ourselves play. A little pat on our own back. See if you would like to learn something from them, or heck, give us pointers if you're some of the elite on the Plaid Hat forums. But yeah, for those players trying to figure out how to improve their game, we're really just trying to play a few good games, commentate on some of the strategy, commentate maybe on some of the factions and some of the strategies we've seen used in the past, and hopefully you get something out of it. Again, if you have any, we mentioned this in the last video, kind of towards the middle or end of the video. If you've got any comments on what you'd like to see us do, either matchups or if you want us to, if you're like really interested in like a couple deck building videos, some like videos of us building decks and maybe some of the things we prefer in them. I mean, just let us know what you would like to get out of these, and we'll see what we can do for you. And I don't know how fast we'll be able to respond and upload new videos. It's a little hard to get our schedules to line up these days, but I would like to try. So
right,
we'll see how it goes. Yeah, comment and then I'll put our Playdek IDs in the in the description, in the video description, so that you can play us on the app, on the iOS app, or Android or whatever. I will probably be faster to respond to that than I will to any other type of comment. Also, those games, try to make them 3 or 7 day if you're inviting me, or maybe probably Mattman also.
Here. I mean, I can do 3 days. Not
3 days fine. It's just I'm currently trying to finish up school, so it's just hard to find consecutive half hours to play games and things like that. Oh, it looks like.
Was that a Divine Protection that just came out?
Yeah, no, I think... No, was it?
Didn't my Reaper just roll a 6?
Yeah, I think he did. Okay, so yeah, I think he did Divine Protection to get his Woeful up on the other side there. That's interesting. I wonder if he was really just trying to save the Woeful, or if it was really his plan to get the Woeful to move around to that position. Because he's still not close enough to hit Ret, so...
I could be wrong. I could have sworn I rolled a 6. I don't...
We're going to learn in the comments that you rolled a 2 or something. I actually missed that because I was looking away at the time. Paying lots of attention. Could just be the resolution of this video. This looked like a 6. Yeah, we did eventually... Our new setup is slightly better than this, I think. Well, I technically haven't blown it up to the size we're watching it at right now, so we'll find out if it's better. Oh, look, it killed that Reaper. Going with the Warrior Angel on the wall. That's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this game goes in terms of resolution and being able to see the cards. It looks like we still have the decks, unfortunately, cut off from the screen. We fixed that in the neck. We've already filmed another game, just because we had some time and we wanted to play a game.
Right.
So yeah, we'll hopefully have that slightly fixed for the future. It won't be quite as wonky as it is there. Oh, there we go. He's got Master Bullock, and I missed what that other one was. Divine Spirit, or not Divine Spirits. What am I talking about? The Strong Spirits.
A combination of events.
Yeah, some kind of event. Some kind of event there. Doesn't really.
So I think it's one of Sam's event cards. Is what he had in his hand.
Thanks, man. Didn't deck build in any of Sarah's. Is that what we're saying? All right. Not that you'd really want to.
But there is just a Varga Vanguard card just hanging out out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Was that something he just didn't build in? I'm assuming that's what that is. I'm assuming that's something he just did not deck build into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are using all of the alliances for anyone who didn't watch the first video. We're using all of this is the full current meta as of when we post this video. Still probably. Did he just abolish? Is that what happened there? Goodness, great. Yeah, it looks like an abolish.
That's what it is.
So, were you playing? What were you playing there?
Force summon.
Yeah. Wonder if you were trying to draw that abolish.
I think, if I recall...
We're making sure everyone understands what just happened. And then, is that Legion of the Dead?
Yeah, it was... It was one or the other, and I think I was trying to lure out with, like, a Force summon I would have been fine with, too, but I was happy with having the extra health as well.
Yeah, and this gives you just as much protection from his units, because he can't fly over with that Warrior Angel or get to you from either other side.
Right.
And you're able to get out some phenomenal units here. Goodness gracious.
Those warlocks. Anytime those warlocks come out, it's
that's serious.
Always filled with jitters.
Oh gosh. As 4 magic you just saved. And I guess we ran out of good units.
I must not have had this card pile, gentlemen.
Yeah, oh my. Alright, let's see what happens here. 2 hits. Yep.
Yes, those were good rolls.
That was nice. I'm trying to remember how the end board position looks for this, and I'm like not imagining how this game goes to get to that position. It's okay though. We'll see how it goes. I think this video is a little longer than the last one.
Well,
We're about to find out. There were some turns in this where some serious thought went on. We'll get to that later, I suppose. All right, Lemon Merchant trying to decide what he's doing with himself. Probably.
I'm just greedily counting my magic. No, I'm sure I'm telling him how much I have.
Yeah, it's like 2 or something. I'll give him a call. Actually, I was thinking I'm gonna give Lemon Merchant a call also and see if he wouldn't mind putting up his Playdek ID as well. He can give you guys some games as well, school y'all and some Summoner Wars. Yeah, and someday we'll get on Vassal, I guess. I don't know. Currently, I just downloaded it, and I still don't know how to play it on there. I'm sure it's not incredibly complex, but I haven't ever tried it yet, so
Yeah.
it would just be a nice way to be able to play other people with alliances, and then actually to record some more videos with Lemon Merchant, at least until the next time we see him in person.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling a nice.
See, I told
there.
you it was 6.
That's a good one. Alright, he kills his own Warrior Angel.
Wow.
Give himself some more magic.
Risque. Not really.
I think that man just made some joke about the Woeful attacking Sam next.
we liked that.
Alright, and 2 on the wall. There we go. So he's leaving Sam open for a potential wall force summon. It's kind of unlikely given that Matman has already played 2 walls, and he's probably pretty early in his deck. And he only has 1 more force summon left because the other one was abolished. However, that I just feel like could be mentioned, that Sam could get hit from behind here. It wouldn't be the worst position for Sam, because he could still get out with the space the Woeful Brothers occupying. You couldn't really pin him in, especially with a couple transformations.
The threat of Father Benjamin in the deck.
Yeah, that would be probably a waste of a champ. I'm assuming. However, if you really were trying to end the game fast for some reason, that combination could be used. Again, I just don't think it would be a great choice, but he's kept that in his thoughts. I'm sure he's thinking about that possibility. I'm sure he's considered it. But with Sam at full health and everything, it's fine, and there's no reason for such a desperate play at this point in the game because Matman's got a fine position back there, walled off, turtled off with his relatively strong units surrounding him, minus that Skeletal Archer. Alright, let's see what's going on. Lemon Merchant's making a dumb joke. I'm straightening the discard. It looks like crap. Okay, here we go.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
my phone tried to zoom in on Sam's face, tried to identify him. That's kind of amazing.
Man.
And I'm talking about that space back there that's not being used. I don't know why I was pointing at that. I have no idea what that was. Anyway.
Well, very, very, very good moving going on, I'm sure. Sure have it all well thought out.
Something happened with that space exploding. I don't understand. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he's killed that unit.
Right, so...
Solid play there.
See what else I do, perhaps.
He's rolling maybe to kill his own
Probably
warlock.
my own warlock.
That would make some... Oh, missing it. Maybe attacking with the other warlock on the warlock. Yeah, killed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Getting some magic back. He has, oh my gosh, an enormous amount of magic.
Yeah, more.
He somehow does this so early with dropping more of his hand into magic. Probably a bunch of commons.
Yeah, we don't need those.
Well, he'll get them back later,
Yeah.
probably for cheaper. It's the danger of Matman with these his magic pile. So talking about the advantages of dropping as much as you can early into magic, it gives you a lot of options in the early game. For champions and for even just an aggressive push that your opponent's not expecting, or just deterring your opponent kind of by way of the threats of an aggressive push or pinning your opponent in.
I mean, the sheer amount of cards you get each turn, just like, it's nice too. I never feel like my hand is clogged as this team. Although sometimes like you do get a hand of like all dark sacrifices and like Legions of the Dead or something.
Yeah, and you don't want to get rid of those
compelled.
too badly, but in general, I mean, with Ret and the Fallen Kingdom, there's nothing wrong with dropping every common you have into Magic for a long time. Ooh, he's a Crusader coming out. It looks like there's a Cherubim there in his discard, so he's playing with a few of these Vargoth Vanguard units. But yeah, I even like not just as Ret though. There have been some other games pretty recently I've witnessed with some really great play where my opponent, in particular, dropped a ton of units into Magic. Actually, it was someone knocked the camera. It's swinging from the chandelier freely, inducing nausea. Anyway, so yeah,
we're in for pumpy ride.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. I don't think I can stop it either because if I touch it, it's just gonna introduce more vibration into the system. So anyway, playing Snago in I think it was my last tournament game with him in Tortugatron's recent tournament. He was the Mountain Vargoth, and I was the Guild Dwarves. There we go. Is he displaying magic? Was it like 5 or 6? Magic. Yeah,
I don't know. I lost it. I was just looking in awe at that Crusader.
How awesome he looks.
Admiring the art.
No, my gosh, the art on the Crusader is so cool. That was inspired, whoever did that. But yeah, so playing Snago, and he dropped an enormous amount of his deck into his Magic, and I as Vargoth, and I've never actually played someone as Vargoth who dropped that much of their deck. He had like 10 Magic at one point, and it was terrifying. So there's nothing wrong with even a couple of your events going into your Magic early, just to give yourself like a fresh hand, give yourself some Magic over your opponent in that early game. Don't feel, if you get 3 champions in your opening hand, don't feel like you have to keep all of them in your hand. That kind of clogging is just, good. Lemon Merchant hit the camera again. We're all good. We're gonna have to talk to him about this. This is terrible. But yeah, don't feel like you have to keep that hand just because the card's undervaluable. I mean, you don't have to drop all of your champions, but consider dropping one maybe. Or if your champions are low enough cost and you think you can really get on with just 2 new cards in your hand every turn for a long time, make the decision that fits the situation.
Right,
however,
it's all situational.
Yeah, it's all situational. However, nothing is above being discarded, especially when your hand's clogged. And Mattman is playing very well in that regard. I don't know what's in his hand, and we hope it's just commons, especially with Ret's ability that doesn't really come back to bite him to drop some commons in Magic.
I didn't do a very good job of showing the world my hand in either of these games.
That's okay. Joe and I were the only ones who really went for that here, but we only did it every 5th turn, so you don't really get a sense of any continuation. We definitely should show opening hands. That's something I'm noticing that we can fix.
Yeah.
Opening hands are very important. And we should just show every hand. That would be more useful. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get all of these little kinks worked out in the first couple. Again, we filmed these actually kind of a while ago, back when I was at my old place. So hopefully when we get some of this stuff worked out, we'll be significantly more polished in how we present the game. Sam won't look like a pixelated blur, like something out of the Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem, and it's like what that really looks like to me right now. It's like,
it kind of does.
Yeah, it's his cape. His cape is like this diagonal line of pixels, and it just looks bad. But art looks so cool on his card too. It makes me sad.
My wall's taking a beating. I can't possibly be too happy with that.
No, yeah, those walls are actually starting to get a little hurt, and we see Lemon Merchant has decided that there is no significant advantage to pushing forward It's probably in his best interest at this point. Keep that middle ground position. He's got 6 magic, it appears there, if I counted that correctly and quickly. He's got the middle ground, and he's got a wall off to the open side, which is nice because he can summon some more units in there and get them up to the wall quickly. And he has a defensive ability, and he has no particular reason to rush in into a bottleneck scenario, which is where Matman's got him right now. Off to the right is a very serious bottleneck. Even if he gets around to the left, he's got a kind of a 2-space wide bottleneck there just to try to get to Ret. And with Ret's ability, he can summon away from walls. He's still got a force summon. To make any use of Lemon Merchant's ability, he'd have to have Samuel up there with everyone in deep in enemy territory, and that's always scary. Lemon Merchant seems to be happy. But yeah, it seems really smart right now to just kind of stick back, pummel the walls, and force Matman to make the next serious play. Which I'm sure he's going to do here shortly. With that enormous pile of magic. You must have had like 10 magic at this point.
Yeah, it was pretty magical.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We're gonna be known as those guys. Oh my gosh, but look seriously, watch you pulling off magic here.
Yeah.
What's this?
For my next trick, right?
Oh my gosh. Are you actually just gonna, what are you buying? Who are you? Yeah.
Oh,
you just bought the Hellfire Drake and didn't. You still have 3 magic left there? Is that, or 2?
I'm thinking 2.
Either way,
I'm thinking Arby's is what I'm saying.
I'm thinking, oh no. Yeah, you're trying to see if the Woeful Brothers ability could switch when you use the Hellfire Drake, I think.
Yeah, we'll see if he protects him or not.
Yeah. But he does not unless Joe has a Divine Protection, I think.
Well, that's what I mean. I think he's trying to lure it out, but he let me have it.
Yeah. It's hard to know whether or not he had it at that point because he's not showing us his hand, Lemon Merchant.
Yeah, he's the only one not doing that.
Yeah. We'll team up on him because he's not here right now. Can't wait to have him as like a guest commentator.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to have some good insight in some of these. Oh, good, a cherubim. Yes. He's going to have some good insight to share.
Whoa, another cherubim.
A pair of cherubi. Cherubi? That's not what it is. Cherubim is plural. Somebody pointed that out on the forum. And I had a hearty laugh over the nerdiness of the person who pointed that out.
It's true, though.
It is. It's true. And they look nothing like babies with arrows, given the biblical description.
What will he do?
But I like the art. All of the alliances had phenomenal art.
Oh, I agree.
All right, so he's trying to get up there. He's trying to threaten Ret with Divine Protection as a possibility. That's a solid play. Don't engage the Hellfire Drake in a straight up fight if you don't think you can take it.
See if those flying babies can hurt my Warlock.
See, the thing that well, I guess not.
That tickled.
Here's the thing about the Hellfire Drake, especially in Ret's deck. Dark Sacrifice makes it so hard to kill. It's already hard to kill. It's got 9 life. But with Dark Sacrifice, it can have kind of as many life as you need it to have. So I really think that his approach here is wise. You don't have to fight it. It doesn't really have to be a straight-up battle between the two. He can just shoot up around and try to assassinate your summoner without directly engaging.
Yep.
Unless you really think you have a unit that can take it or a couple units that can take it.
Right.
If you've got, for example, a Krung or a... trying to think of another good attacking unit. Kallen Lightbringer would be really nice right now for the Vargoth and Vanguard. For the Vanguards, I guess, specifically.
Well, the only thing is, like, he has no healing potential in this deck.
Yeah, I guess unless you have Priests, which I probably wouldn't put in a Sam deck. I've always wanted to just give that a test.
Priests are okay in his deck because they
don't have any particular attack potential in his deck, and they don't really benefit from any of Sam's events. That's the big thing.
No, but they can.
And they can heal his
units.
Up
those wofuls and those
the Healing the Woeful
days.
Brothers is actually the biggest thing that they could do, I think, in his deck. But maybe some Honor Guard healing too. I was considering that, but they're expensive and they take up space. I'd rather have some other commons probably, especially with some of the Vargoth Vanguard. Yeah, the Alliances stuff is just too good.
I don't know. It's hard to not put Crusaders and Cherubim in any of the Vanguard decks now.
Yeah, Crusaders, Cherubim, and Father Benjamin.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's really hard for that combination not to just go in every deck. Honestly, not so much in Sam's. I've never really I've had conversations about this with Mattman and Lemon before, Lemon Merchant. But I don't love the idea of Colleen in Sam's deck. That's just never been huge for me. I know it could be useful, but Sam, it's not like they overlap their abilities. So I really like Colleen in like Sarah's deck. Oh, playing some wall placement there to get the forced summon. Is that what that was?
Yeah, it must be
nice.
Must be a forced summon.
Yeah, but yeah, I've just never loved Colleen. But I love the idea of Colleen in either of the other two possible decks, in Sarah's or in help me out here.
Oh, sorry, I was watching my
Your brilliant
beautiful Karthos play,
No,
which I just am using Karthos normally, so I know I would have much preferred to have done that at a time where Karthos could use his ability, but
I know that was
must have been feeling
a little bit threatened, perhaps, by that move. Would you give me the name of the Alliance's Vargoth Vanguard? Moira. Never mind. Yeah, Moira.
Whoa. Yeah, that's Karthos' second ability.
Just moving walls wherever the heck you want. No, yeah, we're not super strict about order, especially when things unless dice have been rolled or some other variable has been displayed. For example, if Lemon Merchant had played Abolish and abolished that forced summon, we wouldn't have allowed any wall movement to take place. But since it was all Since it was all shown to be predictable on Mattman's part. Good gosh, Lemon Merchant just smack the camera around again. Why don't you? We just feel bad for the people watching this. I understand there's going to be some comments about the swaying camera. All right.
I'm pretty sure.
Warlock. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Joe didn't have anything useful in his discard pile there, and I think he's intentionally trying to keep that pile from not having any of my
units, any of your Fallen Kingdom units. Yeah, I think he is actually. I think that was a specific strategy he was employing, keeping Fallen Kingdom units out of the discard in order to starve Karthos. Oh goodness,
being a bit clumsy right now.
Yeah, there's that you can kind of see that we have the phone hanging from a chandelier, hooked up by its USB lightning cord to the computer, and anytime Lemon Merchant whacks that cord with his hand, he's letting the chandelier do its thing and swing about. Again, we fixed this for later videos. We have I'm looking at it right now. It's not significantly less janky, but it's it at least doesn't sway freely, and I'm appreciative of that. Where we got our camera set up now. Phone camera. Someday we might have a real camera. That'd be something. That'd be something special.
Whew.
Alrighty. So what we have here is a pretty straight wall off, creating 3 separate bottlenecks, which Mattman can use Karthos and the Hellfire Drake. He was really hanging on those two, the walling off ability of those champions. So to get through the Hellfire Drake in a 1v1 scenario, you're just going to lose all of your units trying it.
And my mentality is, if I get my champions out, I don't feel like I need my walls anymore anyway.
Yeah, it's a good point, because once the Fallen Kingdom have their champions out, they can get pretty much anything else they need with just by summoning with Ret,
right,
raising the dead. But at this point, Lemon Merchant's in a bit of a tight place. He's got a ton of magic right now, but he has no champions. He only has a couple commons. None of his commons that are out can go over walls, so Ret is safe. And the Hellfire and Karthos route, and that is just scary. That's just... Because what Karthos can do is he can sit near a wall, and if anything tries to come through it, he can bring something alive that has precise... and again, Lemon Merchant's preventing that by just not buying anything, and he's putting his own units from his hand on top of his magic pile, and then using that to buy things, leaving a buffer space at the bottom of his magic pile
right, for
with all
Fallen Kingdom.
with all of Madman's Fallen Kingdom. It's kind of an ingenious way of getting around Karthos and making him just kind of a mediocre champion. But it's not always possible, so Lemon Merchant is taking a little bit of a hit. He doesn't have as much out because he would be spending that magic if he had just spent that magic. He would actually have like maybe a champion on the board, but then Karthos would be able to do his thing. So he's making a trade, having less currently on the board, but giving Karthos less to use. The real go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, this deck was sort of an experiment for Ret. While I would always include the Hellfire Drake, I don't necessarily like both Karthos and Hellcar in this deck.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I like one of them. Like I appreciate the extra spaces they give Ret, like kind of maneuver, because Karthos has the 1 space buffer. He can use like a Warlock for or something.
Yeah.
He can move and then like
summon a separate space away. Yeah.
Get the range. And Hellcard is the same thing with the Cultists, but neither of them individually have like attack dice.
Yeah, they're like not very strong battle champions. It's true. They're more of Hellcar's a positioning champion and a little bit of a attack boost, like a support champion. She can kind of help her cultist units out. And Karthos is pretty much strictly a support champion, maybe kind of an assassination or a sniping based champion.
Can't do that.
Yeah, we're letting Lemon Merchant remember. We're reminding him that they can't move over walls, only units. He's upset, I'm sure. But these things happen. Sometimes some small things in the rules we don't remember. Yeah, I'm sure he set that up the turn previous, hoping that Madman wouldn't remember they could move 3 spaces or something like that.
Now in Immortal Alien's deck, I love, of course, both Hellcar and Karthos, and don't like the Hellfire Drake that much, actually, in that deck. I don't feel like it's necessary.
No, I don't think it's too necessary either. It also, it's just really expensive in a deck where you kind of need magic more. Like, Immortal Alien, it's just nicer to have that 9 magic to make sure your dice hit, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like he can just rely more on his commons anyway, more common play. At least the way we've played him seems to just lean
seems
towards
to be fine with commons.
He seems to win a lot.
Yeah, Mortal Alien does have a decent win rate among our group.
I particularly like that. I like the Corpse Worm in his deck for that extra space. That's extra summon during the event. Not during the event phase. During the summon phase, you can just summon him and then summon off of him for a potential force conversion or something. It's very interesting. But here I go, moving out the Hellfire Drake.
Yeah, we're finally going to see that bad boy get into action.
That Skeletal Archer has been big this whole game. He's there with Karthos and Spirit. Oh no, he
decided not to.
He decided against that one.
Yeah, I think you're making sure that Karthos can escape later if he needs to.
I think my skeleton wants to be magic locked elsewhere.
Yeah. I think Lemon Merchant is letting himself get hit in a little bit of a tight spot because it's all open around his units but very closed around yours. Your units can only be attacked from a couple sides and his can be attacked from lots of sides. I'm not sure I love his positioning. Not that he's, has a lot of choice in the matter, but maybe he, at this point, I might have fallen back if I was him. Though you were taunting him with that Ret, if that is what you end up doing, my goodness. Although, how many units have you moved this turn? How many units did you move this turn? I feel just
2.
I feel as though you moved the Hellfire.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not move Karthos? Was Karthos already there? Oh, he was already there. Good. Karthos was already there, so you moved 3 because you moved the Skeletal Archer and you moved Ret, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. For some reason, I thought you moved Karthos to that position, and then that would have been 4 units, and that's not good. It's not good. There'd be an asterisk on this game forever.
Definitely.
Alright, so let's see what happens here. I think Karthos is attacking. No, I can't tell who's attacking. It looks like Karthos is attacking the cherubim. Yeah, that's what's happening. Nope, 1 hit. He would take
Unless...
nope. He's not going to play any Divine Protection. Karthos killed the cherubim. Alright. Sam's ability, not doing a huge amount yet. Oh, there it is. 1 wound, not 2.
Might as well just use his ability, am I right?
Alright, here we go. Trying to figure out how much magic you have. Like, looks like about 4. You gonna drop any in there? Oh. Nope, it's moved on. It's Lemon Merchant's turn. Transformation. He's running Sam in like a wild man. He's gonna try to one-shot Karthos here.
He ain't gonna do it.
No, but I wish he did. It would have been interesting.
Too.
Yeah. Oh. Nothing with the Crusader. Alright. Yeah. Wiping that forehead. Because you can't see us.
I don't know what I was doing there.
It's alright, it's alright. We're new to this. So yeah, Sam's up there. Sam is now protected by transformation as well. You know, at least from 3s. Protected from the roll of a 3. Looks like, I mean, I would assume Karthos is about to move back and hit Sam with some precise die, making that transformation.
Probably
Not all
can't though,
sorts of
because I don't think Joe has anything in his discard.
Oh yeah. He's still holding you with that. Still holding that over your head.
Probably summon with Ret.
Summon with Ret, maybe a Warlock.
Yep. Fresh from the magic pile.
Yep. Gonna go for a couple die on, and then this is the real trick. You're luring him into this position where it's possible to surround and capture Sam. Will he take the bait? That's the real question. All your walls are down, so it's not like he's gonna put a wall behind. It's not like you're gonna put a wall behind him. The real question.
I think we're talking about me re-rolling all 3 of the die because 1 got away.
Oh.
Off the board or something.
Yeah, we do tend to do that. Our rule has always been all the dice must be
and I can't complain.
all the dice must be rolled at the same time, and if one of them for some reason messes up, we don't re-roll a single die. I've just never felt comfortable with that. Yeah, and of course all the units roll separately if they're all attacking the same thing. We learned that the hard way a really long time ago. What a good game! We'll have to go over that someday for the new players.
Yeah, when we were first playing this game,
Okay, we'll go over now.
making mistakes. Well, I was just saying we're making mistakes galore, but essentially we had 3 separate units totaling up to 7 die, and we just rolled all 7 at once, which was a huge mistake because we didn't want to kill the thing.
No, that was a big deal because they are actually attempting to wound it and not kill it, but they rolled all the die at the same time and killed it, and then I won the game because of that mistake. But of course now we wouldn't let that fly because you're supposed to roll the die per unit.
Sam getting a bit scared at this point.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's trying to just see if he can get the board position to change a little bit because Madman's got quite the spot here. Quite the area staked out. Alright, we got this is the exact play I was in. Oh, nope, never mind. Not at all. I was expecting the cherubim in that forward position, maybe flying behind the Hellfire. Obviously, that would have been
he's gonna
problematic because the Hellfire could just use its ability. But
he's gonna transform this. He just did transformation.
Yep, transformation, boom.
Yeah.
That's still how I imagined it. I just imagined it with the cherubim for whatever reason. Yep. Boom.
Yeah,
4 hits.
4 hits.
That was big news. And then 1 hit there for the 5th, and then we'll see if he gets I think he does get the 6th here.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep. 6 out of 7.
Yep. 6 out of 7.
That was nice for Lemon Merchant. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the problem with the Hellfire in Ret's deck. That doesn't mean anything because you have Dark Sacrifice, and I'm almost positive you're about to use one.
Yeah, I definitely use it. Pretty sure. We're gonna see some phantoms come out.
Yep. See, yeah, we've talked about this together, but I guess not on these videos because we only had two. The Phantoms, we like the Phantoms for their ability. Obviously, possession is just ridiculous. If it happens to work, it's obviously so unlikely, but they're not a bad unit for just their ability. But what works really well is in Ret's deck, they're a 1-cost unit, and if you summon them, you can summon them off of a wall like a normal summon, not using Ret's ability, and then immediately Dark Sacrifice them for 1 health and getting your magic back. Obviously, it's still a net loss of a magic because you could have simply placed that into your magic pile at the end of the turn and gained the magic from that card as opposed to just breaking even. But you can heal your units, and it's a fast way. Instead of having to pay 2 magic and then only getting 1 magic back and only healing your unit 1, it's a much better economic play to have some units in your deck that still cost 1, like the Skeletal Archers. Or, because the Skeletal Archers can sometimes backfire and magic lock on you, and you don't necessarily want that, you can at least, with the Phantoms, be sure that you're going to get your magic back.
I mean, I guess you could also put like some apprentice mages in or something for 0 cost,
for 0
just
cost.
Dark Sacrifice.
But that's the problem with the apprentice mages. The only useful thing you can really get out of them is the Dark Sacrifice play.
That's it.
Phantoms still have a potential for game-changing ability.
Right.
I actually just used one against Lemon Merchant on the app and stole his Melik.
Well, yeah, we just played one where I stole your Mook.
Yes. Oh gosh, that was
full
ugly.
health.
That was ugly. Yeah. Yeah. So they get used. I completely won a game I had no business winning once. I stole someone's Gror. And I was about to lose as Ret, and I managed to sneak away the whole time and used Gror to enormous effect.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't supposed to win that game except for that one possession.
Yep, here comes the Dark Sacrifice.
Oh,
I think we
gosh.
saw the 2 Phantoms come down.
Yeah.
We're going to see if that fella's magic locked, I believe, in a second.
Is that 4 that you just pulled out there?
Yeah.
Yikes, up, and there we go. You're going to see if it...
Yeah, I got magic locked.
So, okay, but you still got 5 off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. So all of that hard work was for nothing. And the Hellfire Drake stands ridiculously powerful as always. And this is why, again, unless you really think you've got some way to contain the Hellfire Drake, surrounding him isn't particularly a helpful move because he can just use his ability to freely put a wound, which you're about to do.
We're seeing here.
Yep.
Of course, he's going to get all those dice again next turn and then isolate a unit, but I thought this was better in the long run.
Yeah, well, see, you put a precise die on every one of those units effectively there.
Well, the other thing I was worried about too was the Divine Protection. If I just killed something, if I just went for a kill on like the Woeful, which was the only reasonable thing to kill in that situation. It wasn't even perfect either, just because of Sam's ability.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it just seemed like the wise play to just do a wound to everyone.
That's definitely a move I would have made as well. It's just it's difficult because the Hellfire Drake is just it's an interesting unit in that you probably can't take it head on. Like, I mean, there isn't a unit, we'll actually just say that, there isn't a unit that is strong enough in its...
3?
Yeah. There isn't a unit strong enough in its stats to... Yeah, we can put that on the Woeful. The Woeful gets 2 more.
5.
Good gosh. And then maybe with the... For that 6. Oh, he re-rolls maybe because it... Nope. It was just a hit. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, the problem with the Hellfire Drake is it is... just absurdly powerful. Like, it's sitting there taking transformation beating after transformation beating from 3 separate units in a surround, and it still has the advantage because it's still putting out 3 wounds per turn 100%. We're 100% sure, again, Divine Protection being the only possible way out of that for Lemon Merchant, but that's just a big deal. That's a big deal that it's able to take that kind of a beating, and you don't really have any advantage by surrounding it because it will just do wounds to everything around it.
Right.
And you can't get it in a bottleneck because it will beat any unit that you throw at it. There's no unit whose stats are high enough to directly combat it at a likely win. Krung is the only one who's even with it in a 1-on-1. And he costs one less.
Oh,
So
day by suit I just did there.
Oh, he summoned a Warlock for its ability just so he can Dark Sacrifice, I think. Yep,
Yeah.
there we go. Using all that magic from last turn that he gained by Dark Sacrificing to Dark Sacrifice again. Healing 3 of those wounds again, just trying to keep that thing alive for as long as possible because it really is more valuable than anything else he can have right now.
Yeah.
He's really trying to get Lemon Merchant to use some of that magic so Karthos can finally do something useful this game. Honestly, I didn't realize. I mean, I can't see how much deck either of you has left. I'm assuming Rhett still has a reasonable sized deck, and I'm assuming Lemon Merchant's running a little bit low because if I remember correctly, that's how this game went. Lemon Merchant was running low in his deck. He's used all of his transformations at this point. He's used 1 Divine Protection. Definitely it's difficult for him, but at this point in the game, I didn't realize how close this whole thing was.
Oh, we're seeing something fanatical, something cool with the Crusaders as we see Rachel Loveguard.
Yeah, that was not. I forgot about that. Yeah, Rachel Loveguard is a little bit of an unusual champion, except for now that Crusaders exist, she's like she's possibly useful.
Yeah, she's sort of viable now.
He would have to hit all 5 of these die to kill the Hellfire Drake. 2 from Sam, 1 from the Crusader, 2 from Rachel, now that she's near the Crusader. But yeah, Rachel was just, her stats made her almost unusable previously. I thought she was maybe one of the only really truly unbalanced champions that just didn't make any sense. She wasn't any good. But now that she has Crusaders, the ability to force your opponent to discard something from their hand is kind of a big deal if you can pick off some commons with relative likelihood.
Well, especially as an endgame champion where
Yeah.
you need your hand at the end.
Alright, so he's already missed 1, so it's already impossible for him to do this. Oh, missed another. And 2 more with Sam. Takes 2.
No, I think Rachel was last in case she got the last hit.
Okay. Alright, there we go. So Hellfire's definitely getting closer there. Unfortunately, Hellfire will probably kill the Crusader this turn. And now there are some Fallen Kingdom units in Lemon Merchant's discard because he was forced to put them there with Rachel.
Right.
He probably didn't have any.
Yeah. And boy, am I gonna look at it now.
Yeah, he probably didn't have any commons he really thought would be viable in that position. He does have a Cherubim now in his hand, so it's possible he picked Rachel over the Cherubim, hoping to get the 5 out of 5. I don't know if that's the best play, but the Cherubim would have died instantly and given Matman more magic if they didn't get the 5 out of 5, where Rachel will live. So I can kind of see it. I see why he did it. He just needed something out there that would survive a hit from the Hellfire Drake, and Rachel's got that covered. This game, Sam just has trouble with some of these giant champions like this in these positions. It's better for Sam to be boxed in by some units surrounding him, some of his own units surrounding him. Go in as a little bit of a mob. He's a little bit spread out in this position. I don't know that he notices that Karthos can swing around for precise to die here. It's hard to know if he notices or not.
I don't think I do that though.
Do you not? Interesting.
Because I don't think I found anything I liked in the discard pile.
He looks like a zombie warrior and, I don't know, maybe a skeletal archer or something from early in the game. Yeah, I guess 1 precise die isn't a huge deal. But getting the surround on Sam would have been nice.
Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to get my champion out in my hand. I don't want to spend the magic.
That makes sense. So you're trying to get Hellcard out instead of getting some more commons.
Right.
I can see that. That's a reasonable play.
But it's not. Yeah, I remember thinking I just didn't think I could possibly lose with the extra health at the end of the game there.
From Hellcar?
Yeah.
Yeah, having a beefy champ like Hellcar. The only problem with Hellcar is her low attack die. But if you can keep cultists in front of her, via these bottlenecks. And then she's a tough cookie to crack. I'm pretty sure that's not how that phrase is supposed to work. It doesn't really matter. That's not the brightest cookie in the box.
That's definitely how that phrase works.
Yeah, I fixed it. Don't worry, everybody. I'm on the job. All right, so we're trying to decide what Matt's doing here. This game actually probably had some greater indecision than the one previous to it. Yeah, well,
I don't know. The turns haven't been terribly long. This one's pretty long.
Yeah,
but
I think we're getting into the territory where the turns start lengthening. It's the end game turns that always take longer in all of our games.
Yeah,
because the moves matter more.
I've been like, there are games I've been dominating with a deck like this with Ret, but it's because I force summoned, so Ret has no health, and then I get careless with him.
Yeah. See, the trick here is that it's funny that the starting game turns technically have a greater impact on the end of the game than do the end game turns. That's just kind of a basic principle of how games work, that the opening turns set you up for the end, right? So we can understand that. However, the end game turns are more critical because in the beginning of the game, there are too many variables you just can't account for. What units does your opponent have in their deck? How will the dice treat you? Etc. So you can only be sure of so many things. Oh, he's using his ability, Hellfire Drake's ability. You can only be sure of so many variables at that stage in the game. And so, at the end of the game, you start putting all those puzzle pieces into place. You start realizing certain moves are unavailable to your opponent. For example, Lemon Merchant now knows 2 of Matman's 3 champions. So he knows that there's no chance he's going to see both Hellcar and the Corpse Worm or Elut Ball this game. It'll have to be one of those champions and not a combination. So he can start moving forward with some greater confidence that he's not going to run into a combination Elut Ball Malevolence or something weird like that. And now that Matman's down at 3 health, he can't use a force summon would be impossible. I think you've already used both your force summons anyway, so it would already be impossible. So at this point in the game, the end game turns, you actually have more pieces of the puzzle to consider, hence the longer turns.
Right. Oh, and when we were talking about the Phantoms, I also wanted to add at the time, I got distracted. I think the Phantoms are actually even potentially more viable also, even though I love them in Ret's deck and Mad Syrian, because of the Forbidden Ritual combo that they can do. You can send them out full force to try and move. You make a move, and then they all have 2 attack on something, and then by the end of the turn they can just die and go back to your magic.
Yeah, that's a solid point. That's a solid point. So you can kind of get rid of them, hopefully get more attack die than they're worth, and then
yeah. So they deny themselves while potentially getting you the possession. Yeah. I'm just thinking about a situation where you can use them all on a champion.
Yeah, that's true. If you can get 3 Phantoms on a champion, I think you're statistically not unlikely, or not crazy unlikely anyway, to get 6 out of 3 dice.
Did I just attack my own Warlock for a 2 for 2? Is that what I did there?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did. I think you're just trying to get a little more magic for that Hellcar play.
Ew.
Let's see here. So, Lemon Merchant has a pretty likely shot here of taking the Hellfire Drake. However, no matter what he does at this point, you have a pretty solid shot with Karthos to hit Sam. Sam's only at half health, and while Sam has a lot of health, he still has more than... There's my phone being weird. He still has more health than does Ret.
Yeah, Joe made a mistake here by not... He realized it too. By not attacking with the Cherubim first, he could have gotten 1, which would have made it more... Which would have made it possible for Rachel to get the killing shot.
Yep. Yeah, attacking with Sam, it was possible to kill it outright, which he did, and which was not what he was hoping for, because he could have maybe sniped Hellcar out of Batman's hand.
He realized. I remember commenting on it immediately after.
Yeah, I don't know how many cards you had in your hand. I would have assumed you would have left a buffer since Rachel had been
at this
out.
point. No, at this point I have
common or something in your hand you don't need. However, it was possible to snipe something out of Madman's hand. Actually, what's Rachel's ability? Do you choose the card that you discard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not like a random card or something.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there is anything that discards a random card. I think pretty much everything's chosen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here he's finally taken the Hellfire Drake, finally, after losing several commons and half of Sam's HP. He has out Rachel, which is fine, but I think at this point he's losing the magic game pretty drastically. You can see there in his discard, he had to discard Master Bullock. Yeah, at some point he decided Master Bullock was not going to be able to come out. 7 magic is just too much of a commitment, and he couldn't afford it. Batman, however, has just been rolling in the magic all game with those Dark Sacrifices. It's just been easy to pull those out. Dark Sacrifice, Legion of the Dead, those just they make the magic game so easy to play. And the Hellfire Drake whittling down Lemon Merchant's forces this whole time has put Lemon Merchant in a little bit of a tight spot. Fortunately for him, those walls are pretty weak, so he can start to take those down. I actually think Lemon Merchant has dropped his walls at this point. I don't think he might have another wall still in there somewhere.
I don't know if they're in his discard or not.
But he might have dropped them at this point, which wouldn't have been a bad idea had he had them, because it doesn't appear that he's needed them. Any forward wall placement. Forward walls are always a potential problem for rune mages, but at the same time, once your opponent's played all their walls, you can just avoid that. You can avoid that placement. Looks like you're playing a magic drain. Is that what that is?
Just to get his 1 card, but yeah, no, he has no options.
Cruel.
I think it took a while to decide if 1 magic was worth it. It's probably more time than was necessary for something
like that. Yeah, well, in
that.
that case, I'd say it was definitely worth it, just because, again, no options. That's really at this late in the game, that 1 magic made all the difference.
I'm pretty sure I'm about to get very greedy here, and it almost loses me the game.
Yeah, I remember that, actually. I remember you getting greedy.
Yeah. I debated back and forth, and again, after that long debate, made the wrong decision.
It's alright. It didn't cost you the game.
Or did it?
Yeah, this video's too long. They're gonna know. Here, he's really contemplating this. Yeah, this is just like the Hellfire Drake thing from the other game, except the odds are not quite as poor in this instance if he messes up. And the odds of him messing up aren't quite as poor in this instance. Because it's based on this dice roll. You're going to try to kill Karthus, right? Because you don't need him anymore.
No, that's not what happens. I debate whether or not to kill the wall.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Trying to get that 1 more magic.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I do eventually decide to kill the wall. It's just a matter of time before those dice get rolled.
Alright. Here we go. You're looking at what you have in magic.
Yeah. Yeah, this deck also, just because of all the magic management, tend to take a bit longer looking at my stuff.
Yeah, there are definitely
some decks just play a lot. Some decks just play a lot faster than others. This one, I feel like it's always a bit of a puzzle when playing, and I like that aspect about it, but it does make longer turns.
Yeah. Yeah, again, in some sort of tournament play, I think most tournaments run on a chess clock. So turns like this probably wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But for us playing these games, at the very least, you're going to see some solid gameplay elements, some really some interesting choices and some combinations you might not have considered, because all of the moves are fairly well thought out, even if occasionally we'd still make the wrong choice.
Yeah.
The goal is to give you the best moves possible. Hopefully we can just kind of commentate over the areas where we're a little bit slow in the gameplay. Okay, so you bought a Warlock.
Yeah. For 3.
And then you're going to kill the wall. Yep, pointing at the wall. Good. Okay, we're back on track. Kills the wall. Good job. So you get that extra magic. You paid 2 magic for the warlock, but then you got the extra magic, or the 1 extra magic for the wall.
I can't think why I would have paid for the warlock instead. We don't know where. I know I was trying to get Hellcar at some point, and this is some really great stuff.
This is where you have Hellcar only in your hand, maybe? Is that what's happening? The only card he has in his hand is Hellcar, so he kills his own cherubim, my gosh, and if he just hits this one die...
this was a great move, and he did it.
And he did it.
So he had to basically get the 2 for 2 on Karthos to kill him.
So that was big, and so now he discarded Hellcar. Yeah, you see it in your discard. Gosh, that must have been heartbreaking.
Like, I don't understand, because it looked like I had enough magic to summon her. Maybe I didn't. Somehow, I don't know.
Maybe you wanted a different positioning first. Maybe you wanted to be able to summon a cultist at the same time.
Look at that magic pile. Like, I summoned a warlock.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6. So she was coming out that turn. I summoned a warlock. Like, how could I have not had enough?
Maybe you were just... that's actually a great question. I'm not positive why you summoned the warlock over Hellcar.
I don't remember what I was thinking in that position. I thought it... I remember... oh, you know what it probably was? I remember thinking it was impossible, based on that move, for him to hit Karthos, and I thought it would... and I got another
for 2,
unit out.
Yeah, you didn't think he could hit him for 2, but he did by killing his own unit, and that was such a solid play. Attacking with the cherubim, and then killing it, and then shooting through with Rachel for that ability.
I remember being very upset at myself for that debacle. But
yeah, that was pretty epic, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So, alright, so Ret with 2 versus Sam with 4. There's a Warlock and there's a Rachel present.
Oh, here looks like we're going to get another Warlock, is what I'm assuming. Yeah. You made so much use. You got so much use out of those silly Warlocks. By killing them yourself with Dark Sacrifice when they were no more use to you, or just one-shotting them with Ret occasionally.
Well, there was one shot with on the Warlock.
Alright, here we go. And
but he's back. He's back. He didn't care that he got one-shotted.
Nope, still loyal to Ret. Willing to die again and again. Alright, so here we're going to try to get some easy shots on Lemon Merchant's Summoner and Champion. Oh, that feels bad. And the other ones, I don't know which one attacked first. We're about to find out probably. Okay, 1 die made it through. Yeah. 1 out of 4. She is protected, I suppose, by his ability, so...
No, she's not.
Oh, no, because she's a champion. Yeah, never mind. So she's not... this is bad dice. Just bad dice. Nothing special about that at all. Obviously, he wasn't protected by squat. He just missed 2 on Sam, which is a bummer, I'm sure. Oh, I almost forgot. This video. Oh, I'm so excited. Honestly speaking, we're all very good sportsmen when it comes to the dice and the variability of these games. I'm just excited. This is maybe the one time, this one game where we haven't acted perfectly honorably. Yeah, here's Lemon Merchant getting some good dice. Oh, misses that one. That's okay. He killed the 1 Warlock outright, and that was very important. Because right now, Mattman's out of champions. He's probably closing in on the number of cards in his hand, and his magic pile's dwindling pretty severely. He needs more magic, and he doesn't have anywhere to get it from. He's used all his Dark Sacrifices. He's used everything.
Cultist coming out.
Yep, here we go. He's just desperate for some more units on the field to separate Sam from Ret, because right now Sam is still just scarier than Ret. And here we go. 2 on Sam, 1 hit. Oh, nope, never mind. On Rachel. 2 hits on Sam. That was important. Alright, so now Sam is as weak as Ret. And he's got that cultist to deal with. This is the kind of the interesting thing that we can't see here. I do remember in Lemon Merchant's hand, resides one card one particular card that you were worried about. There were actually, I think, a couple cards in his hand right now, and he's about to play one of them, if I remember correctly. But Lemon Merchant's hand shows it's his last card. He's decked out at this point. He has nothing left in his deck. He's drawn it dry, and I just got some more tea off on the side there. All right, here we go. Yeah, the Cherubim. He had a Cherubim in his hand, and then we knew he had at least one more card in his hand. But without knowing what it was, Mattman was a bit worried. Now, we don't play with card sleeves, so Mattman could actually know what it was for sure. Oh, okay, there we go. Getting the hit on the cultist. The cultist did not kill Rachel.
No, she.
Oh man, he missed. That's upsetting.
Yeah.
And then Sam sits back and watches. All right, so as the camera swings, Mattman's in a pretty precarious position. That was quite the tongue twister. He's got a tough decision to make here because he has enough to summon one more unit, but that's it. And he might be running out of warlocks at this point, or getting close. Maybe.
Looked like one was on the top of the discard there.
Okay. So here's the real trick. Lemon Merchant has 3 magic at this point, and gaining. He could continue to get more magic, and if he can get to
it's a warlock.
there we go. If he can get just a little bit higher, it's possible he could pull out another champion, or it's possible he's just got a Woeful Brother still left in his deck, and maybe a Divine Protection, or maybe just a Divine Protection, which would be horrifying. So he's going to try to get Rachel with the 1 warlock, and then, yep, he does it, and then he has to hit this Cherubim. Doesn't have to, but it seems very important at the time, and you don't. Yeah. You might have noticed the table shake there. There's a slight pour reaction. I get very excited about this video because it's so unusual for us to get upset about the dice. That's like just not a thing. Mattman got just a little bit upset about the dice. But what he doesn't know is Joe's last card, which he might actually show here pretty soon, was Quayla from Moira's deck. It was a 7 magic champion. There's no possible way he can do anything useful with that card at this late stage in the game. He's not going to get 4 more magic. There's just with a 2 life Sam and what's on the field now. It's just so unlikely. I guess possible, but so unlikely. What Mattman was particularly worried about, if I remember correctly in this instance, was a Divine Protection.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he just didn't look. Oh, good, I got an email. He just
I'll
didn't
look pretty soon and notice it.
Yeah, he didn't look to see. I think we explained it to you, actually. I think we mentioned it.
No, I look in the discard at one point, and then I...
Oh, and then you get... Yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah, that is exactly what happens. He looks in the discard, realizes all the Divine Protections are gone. Yeah, last card, Kayla. Not very useful at this point in the game. So, really, Lemon Merchant has almost definitely lost, just dice probability-wise, because he can maybe kill one of the warlocks, but then it's very likely that the Cherubim will die the next turn. And if the Cherubim dies, then Lemon Merchant gives Mattman the ability to summon again and raise the dead one more time. And if that's the case, then it'll be Sam versus a warlock and whatever else Mattman summons, and Ret. And that's not a likely win scenario for Lemon Merchant. If he even had one more common, this would be a much closer game. But where it is now, it could still tip in Lemon Merchant's favor in this end game stage, but it's not likely. So here, okay, we're finally getting the move. This is pretty much the move he has to make. He has to make this aggressive play for that warlock. If he went for the other warlock, he'd be giving Mattman 4 to hit 2. A 90% chance. So he can't really afford that. He has to go for this other one just to get 1 more magic and get 1 more of those warlocks out of the way. What's right now the problem is he's given Mattman a 2 to hit 1. So we've got a pretty solid odds there guarding Madman's choice. Got a nice little 89% chance of killing that cherubim, or I guess less. He's got a 75% chance because he's near Sam. He's got a 75% chance because he's near Sam. However, even if you were to miss it, the worst thing that could happen is Sam could kill the warlock, and the cherubim gets one more wound on Ret. It's not likely, but it's possible. If that were to happen, he could still move Ret away and kill the cherubim in the same turn, almost assuredly, and still have enough magic to summon before Sam could reach him. It's very unlikely that Sam gets the opening dice in this play for the win. It's almost assured that Madman gets it. So we're going to see this game kind of piddle out, unfortunately. I wish some more exciting things happened, but I don't really think they do.
No.
I think this game's fairly predictable from here on out. What we might be able to do, we might be able to kind of talk about some of the other strategies that could have been employed. We didn't really get to see Master Bullet come out. He could have been a force with those wofuls. He's just hard to pull out in Sam's deck sometimes with the magic curve that Sam has. I often find myself struggling to get out all three champions in Sam's deck, partially because they're all expensive. All the Vanguard champs are fairly expensive. Father Benjamin would have been incredible in this deck. I don't know why he didn't include him.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Like right now, if he could like kill his own cherubim or something, get out Father Benjamin, or just kill anything else and get out Father Benjamin. I mean, just having the ability.
Father Benjamin costs 5, but I guess
just having. I mean, yeah, you could have. I think he has at least 4. I think he has at least 4 because he had 3 before he killed your warlock. Yeah, so he has 4.
I thought he had 3 summoned the.
No, I think he had. I think he had 3 summon the thing, and then killed one of your units with Rachel, and then you killed Rachel. Yeah, you killed the cultist. That was the 3rd, and now he killed the warlock, and that's number 4. So he's got 4 magic.
Yeah,
it's not enough for any of the champions, but 1 more magic, and you would have enough for a champion again.
Yeah, Father Benjamin is. I actually remember thinking that was coming out too.
Yeah, I actually was wondering about it too until I knew for sure it was Kayla.
Yeah. I think that's why this turn's taking so long, because I feel like...
Yeah, you're pretty sure that Father Benjamin's coming out?
I feel like I felt like Divine Protection for the longest time, and then I thought, oh, it's probably Father Benjamin, in which case I equally lose.
Yeah, well, let's see. I think I guess if he had Father Benjamin, if he could get Sam... yeah, there we go. We get to see Kayla, the completely useless... if Father Benjamin had come out and he was able to get Sam behind Father Benjamin, forcing you to go through Father Benjamin, he almost definitely wins, because Father has just enough health to survive a warlock, a common,
Right.
or 2 maybe, and if he kills a common or 2, then he gives Sam a health or 2, and that's a big deal at the end of the game. So yeah, that would have been really spectacular, but he doesn't. He has Kayla. And Kayla can be equally important for positioning, especially with Sam, who's so heavily reliant upon good common positioning. But Lemon Merchant just didn't have the magic to get him out this game with the Hellfire Drake eating away all his commons.
Yeah.
That was just so devastating, that Hellfire. That's really what won you this game.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself. No one's won yet. But yeah, that would be, if anything won it for you, it would be that. Interestingly, if you were to miss this cherubim, what would you say to the move of Sam moving in and moving the cherubim away? You don't have enough magic to summon anything.
If Sam moved in, he'd be hit.
Well, if Sam killed the warlock outright, there's a 44% chance of just killing the warlock, in which case it's Ret v Sam and a cherubim in the background.
But I mean, like, it's the same for him to kill the warlock than it would be for Ret to just attack Sam 2 for 2 the next turn.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if he moves in with Sam and the cherubim, you kill the cherubim, and you have the ability to summon, and then he has to go through probably a cultist and then attack Ret.
and so it's like an almost assured loss if you lose the cherubim. But if for some reason you were able to get that 44%, then you put yourself in a winning position.
Well, no, because I mean it's the same. If he went for that, then I would go for that too, and it's like
No, but I'm saying if he hits that, if he hits a 44% chance, which is possible, then he puts you in a position where you either have to hit a 44 or you lose almost assuredly.
yeah, no, but I'm thinking he could if I were to move in that position, I did.
Yeah.
He could have just moved Sam and the cherubim in and block off Ret completely, while doing 1 wound to Ret potentially and killing the warlock outright.
Yeah, that's true. Where you had him before, that's true. But like right here, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I remember not being happy with any position because I thought I lost.
Yeah, you're worried about that. What about that play with Father Benjamin? Yeah, see, Kayla would have been a fine choice if he just had the magic. The same thing with Master Bullock. Again, Sam is just a lot of his champions cost pretty high. A lot of his commons cost pretty high. So it's just difficult to get them all out. I kind of like the idea of like a Rachel in the deck. It's weird that was the only one he was able to get out this game, but
Yeah.
but I kind of like the idea of a lower one in the deck. There we go. He killed it. Yeah.
And then I'm like, who's our tech, Sam?
Yeah, no. Going that 2 for 2. But you've won at this point because you can now summon anything you want. Sam has to attack and get a 2 for 2 on the warlock. And somehow get through the cultist and somehow get through Ret. And he has nothing else of any use in his deck. And I think he has only 4 magic, so he can't, even if he killed both of your commons, he can't get out Kayla.
Yeah.
It's upsetting. Yep, killed the warlock.
Yeah.
And then I think he might go 2 for 2 on him here.
I have a feeling I don't, because
Did Ret get the final blow?
no, the cultist might death curse Sam. For
No, that could be it too. Yeah, actually, that might be it. We're about to find out. Come on, no.
Nice watch.
You're still worried about him getting something out?
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, it makes sense because if he was able to swing around the side and shoot you through the spot with the cultist, you wouldn't want him there. Yep, only need 1 wound. And now the death curse is going to take you.
Either that or Ret. I can't remember.
I think it's
I think it was a death
I think
curse.
you're right. I don't think it got down to a
Yeah, death curse.
All right. Yeah, and then he shows Kayla, and all your fears felt silly. Yeah, it was a good game. The end game, all of those moves. What's important about this game was all of those end game moves, that posturing, the long thinking, would have really mattered had Lemon Merchant built his deck just a little bit differently. So Mattman was right to care as much as he did about where Ret was positioned. He wasn't so right to care about the dice and how they rolled.
A lot of time went into bickering as opposed to looking at the discard pile. So.
Yeah, that's true. Should have just looked at that discard to determine some of these things. But the care in which Ret was placed at the end, and like all of those positions mattered quite a lot because of the possible moves that Sam and a Cherubim or a Father Benjamin, something like that, could have had that would have won Lemon Merchant the game potentially.
Yes, I'm wearing a watch.
We get it. We saw the watch. All right, looks like someone's turning off the video. So, sayonara, friends. If this is it.
Till next time.
Perfect.